Mr. Norman Flatbarnes, are you there, Norman? Can you hear us properly?
Yes,
I'm
I am. Good morning from
Yes,
Washington, D.C. Yes.
Norman. My first question is: as you heard in my beginning, that world started to see some hopes, some ray of the lights of Trump's negotiating style, and he engaged almost all European leader. My question would be: to what extent is Trump's effort to arrange a Putin-Zelensky meeting a credible path toward peace, especially given his exclusion of Ukraine joining NATO and returning Crimea as impossible, Mr. Norman?
Yes. Good morning to everyone and the people listening to us around the world. Let me just start by saying that President Trump has spoken with um, President Putin, and they have both agreed to have a meeting with the president of Ukraine. Uh, they have agreed that that meeting would be advantageous for both of them moving forward with the peace process. The ceasefire concept notion brought up by Europe is still being spun around, but uh, President Trump is still backing the peace efforts instead. While we talking about this, that idea was brought up with the Kremlin, and the Kremlin is now uh, somewhat backing off on the idea of them having Ukraine and Putin meet, uh, and the location has yet to be determined. They're looking at different locations, and there's a little bit pushback right now being seen. So we're waiting to see exactly what comes out of this, how we move forward, and hopefully by the end of the month we'll have a meeting between the two leaders, the two people who are actually at war, and have them start the process. Our president here, Trump, is basically is trying to basically set this meeting up, and he wants to step back a little bit and let the two people talk about how we move forward. So right now we're waiting to see exactly what comes out of this conversation and how we move forward.
Norman, are you there with us in connected?
Yes.
Yes, Norman.
Yes.
I want to again come back to the peace situation going on around the world, initiative taken by the US President Donald Trump. My question is: Zelensky emphasizes a meeting without any condition, I mean without precondition. What advantages or risk does that present in high stakes diplomacy? Because President Trump has given some idea Zelensky has to be in compromising mood. But my question is, as a leader of Ukraine, as a president of Ukraine, as a guardian of Ukraine, and as a commander in chief of Ukraine, how can he go for a compromising decisions with Russia negotiated by United States? This is a very complex situation, Mr. Norman.
Yes, your question. I'd like to thank you for your question. The situation with Ukraine, their president, he is in a very precarious situation right now because he has to look at uh, the will of the people. His country, his government has certain conditions that they will not concede. However, he is looked upon as the one to bring a peaceful resolution to this conflict. The people in Ukraine wants this war to end. However, the government will and has stated they will not concede to giving up land, the sovereignty, their independence. This is a non-issue for them. However, on the other end, the aggressor, Russia, is insistent on persisting in war. They want war. They really want the country. They want to take over Ukraine. And as a precondition of them stopping their aggression, they are pressuring the president of Ukraine to make a concession about giving up land that is currently occupied by the military of Russia. He wants to make a deal, but the pressures of his constitutional requirements and the government is states that this can't happen. Also, he has another issue is that his neighbors, Europe is also concerned about this type of relationship is because they feel that if if Ukraine submit to this, they will be next. They will be next in line. So they are trying to manage this impossible situation to the point where they do not lose, and bringing the United States in helps the situation. But as you see in the news, the United States is not committed to putting troops on the ground. And we just noticed Italy mentioned recently that they are also not going to put troops on the ground. So we are looking at what is really this security agreement about. Will it take place? Can it take place? And will Russia agree to this? The Kremlin is pushing back on this whole process of Putin meeting with Zelensky at all. They don't really want them to meet. They want to finish the deal. The deal is to the conquest of Ukraine.
Fascinating geopolitical correspondent Norman. My question would be, with no meeting date set yet, how realistic is Trump's ambition for Putin-Zelensky dialogue within 2 weeks by the end of August?
Very bluntly, that is a dream. It appears that over the last 24 hours, the political landscape has been shifted. Europe has their input. Now, the government of Russia has their input. That is going to even influence and impact how these peace negotiations continue. Putin and Trump has a understanding. They have a format they want to proceed with. They, to the most part, has agreed to, but the third party, the outside influencers, have concerns. They want to control the narrative. Putin has the Kremlin, and the Kremlin wants certain things done. Ukraine wants certain things done for their interests. Europe wants certain things done for their interests. So we're looking at a three-headed monster right now, trying to negotiate peace through the president of Russia, the president of Ukraine, and now the president of the United States. So the practicality and the probability of a swift solution is questioned because now we have too many hands in the pot. First was just two people talking about it and we move on. Now we have to worry about the interests of each respective country.